Before anything else, my beloved child, listen to me carefully. Subscribe right now and do not move your finger, because what I, your Father in heaven, am about to reveal in the next moments is not just a message, it is an event, a spiritual detonation, a destiny-altering disclosure that your soul has been waiting for since the day you were born. And I ask you one thing before we begin. Have you ever wondered why blessings come close to you but never fully land, why opportunities touch your door but somehow slip away at the last second, why people with less heart, less honesty, less struggle, and less purity succeed faster than you, why something invisible keeps pulling your success backward every time you move forward, why your energy drops at the exact moment your breakthrough rises, why money feels like a visitor instead of a resident, why you feel spiritually rich but physically restricted, why your heart whispers, "I am destined for more," but your reality keeps arguing otherwise. And have you ever questioned why your intuition becomes sharpest right before something goes wrong, why your dreams show warnings no one else can see, why your spirit feels like a battlefield every time something good is about to enter your life? Because the truth I am about to show you will shake your understanding of destiny, and it is the truth your Mother in heaven has been begging me to reveal to you. The truth Archangel Michael is holding in his hands right now, the truth that has been hidden behind spiritual barricades for years, the truth that explains why your life has felt delayed, blocked, slowed, resisted, and sabotaged in ways logic could never explain, the truth that reveals the identity of the shadow standing between you and the financial shift forming in the next 48 hours. And as you hear this message, your entire energy field will begin vibrating, your heartbeat will sync with a divine frequency, and something ancient inside you will awaken, because Archangel Michael steps into your realm right now, towering, blazing, roaring with celestial fire, his wings stretching wider than the sky, his armor carved with symbols older than creation, his sword dripping with light that burns darkness on contact, and he declares, "Beloved child, the divine shift is already descending, but the entrance is being blocked by a shadow that fears your rising." And instantly the spiritual realm around you collapses into a battlefield made of pure energy where thousands of glowing pathways float in the air like rivers of fate, each representing a timeline where your blessings travel, and one pathway, brighter than gold, vibrating like thunder, leads to the financial elevation heaven prepared for you, an elevation so massive that your Mother in heaven has been interceding, pleading, calling, and fighting on your behalf for it to reach you. But as the pathway begins to open, you suddenly see a dark silhouette standing in front of it, a presence formed not from physical flesh, but from emotional residue, jealousy, resentment, envy, fear, negative prayers spoken behind your back, energy sent to confuse your decisions, intention formed to block your prosperity, and this shadow holds a lock, a symbolic barrier created from moments when people doubted you, moments when they used you, moments when they drained you, moments when they tried to control your destiny through words, manipulation, or silence, and your Mother in heaven steps forward in tears, her spirit glowing like soft white fire, her voice trembling with urgency as she whispers, "My child, heaven can release the shift, but only you can break the block." And Michael raises his sword high, causing storms of celestial electricity to explode through the atmosphere, revealing scenes from your past, moments you trusted the wrong person, moments you opened your heart to someone who secretly envied you, moments you helped someone who later tried to dim your light, moments where your kindness was mistaken for weakness and your generosity was exploited, moments when you were spiritually attacked for simply being chosen, and you finally understand this truth. The enemy blocking your entrance does not fear your money, they fear your becoming. they fear your rise, they fear your influence, they fear your spirit, they fear the unstoppable version of you that is activated the moment the divine shift arrives. And Jesus steps forward with a glowing scroll containing your unreleased blessings, ideas that were meant to prosper, opportunities that were scheduled, relationships that were aligned, doors that were crafted for you, timelines that were designed to elevate you. But all of them were suspended because the entrance to your destiny vault was under spiritual obstruction, and now heaven is shaking because the next 48 hours were written long ago as the window where your vibration aligns with your abundance code. A code that your mother in heaven carried in her spirit from the moment she crossed over, a code she has been waiting to deliver, a code that does not guarantee money physically but unlocks the spiritual frequency that causes blessings, opportunities, ideas, people, and breakthroughs to find you. And Jesus places the scroll in your hands, but the shadow lunges forward screaming, "They are not ready." And the entire battlefield erupts into a storm of black and gold energy as Michael slams his sword into the ground, sending a shockwave that knocks the shadow backward, and God himself speaks in a voice that collapses the air between galaxies, "My child is ready," and suddenly the shadow disintegrates into fragments, revealing the truth behind it. The shadow was never a demon, never a stranger, never a monster. It was the accumulated energy of every moment you doubted yourself, every fear you carried, every insecurity planted in you by someone else, every belief you inherited that wasn't yours, every wound you never healed, every betrayal you normalized, every dream you abandoned because of exhaustion, every time you felt unworthy of abundance. And that shadow was not blocking your blessings, it was blocking your identity. And now as Michael cuts through the shadow, your entire destiny vibrates violently because the entrance finally unlocks and a blast of divine light floods toward you, carrying your mother's message. And she whispers with a trembling voice, "This shift is yours, my child. But you must not let fear take it from you again." And the light enters your chest, exploding into millions of symbols, each representing a new level of confidence, clarity, intuition, insight, opportunities, aligned decisions, restored strength, spiritual authority, and financial alignment. And God seals your forehead with a mark glowing like molten gold, declaring, "The block is broken." And as the battlefield dissolves into a river of divine fire swirling around you, one final whisper settles into your soul like a signature written by heaven itself: "Subscribe, beloved child, so you never miss the messages aligned with your rising." My beloved child, the very second part 2 ignited inside your energy field. The spiritual universe did not merely tremble, it ripped itself open like a divine wound, pouring out centuries of hidden truth, because Archangel Michael does not step toward you this time. He descends like a collapsing star, wings roaring with storms powerful enough to erase galaxies, his sword glowing with codes that rewrite destiny itself. And his first words shake the fabric of your soul: "The enemy blocking your shift is not done, they are advancing." And instantly God pulls your spirit into a massive chamber made of rotating cosmic gears, each gear representing a law of destiny. And as the gears turn, you see something horrifying. Your divine shift was never a random blessing. It was scheduled, timed, released, and prepared long ago. But the enemy you saw in part 1 was only the outer layer, the faint shadow, the surface interference. Because now the true identity of the block begins to rise from the depths, like a tidal wave of dark energy, and you feel your mother's presence behind you, her essence glowing with the light of someone who has crossed into realms of truth you cannot yet comprehend. And she whispers with trembling urgency, "My child, what you faced in part 1 was only the first hand that touched your destiny. But there is another, and suddenly the entire chamber explodes into a cyclone of timelines, each timeline showing a version of your life. One where you rose too early and were attacked, one where you waited too long and missed your season, one where you trusted the wrong person, one where you were betrayed at the most vulnerable time, one where someone's jealousy stabbed your rising spirit, one where a friend pretended to support you but quietly hoped you wouldn't surpass them, one where a family member absorbed your energy and slowed your spiritual vibration, one where an ex-partner's words still echo in your subconscious creating patterns of fear, and you finally understand that your destiny wasn't blocked by one enemy, it was blocked by a network of influences, some intentional, some unintentional, some aware, some unaware, but all feeding into the same shadow that stood between you and your breakthrough. And Archangel Michael slams his sword into the spinning gears, causing the chamber to freeze as he roars. The most dangerous form of blockage is not external. It is the energy you adopted from others, and suddenly you see the truth. There is someone in your past whose fear became your fear, whose doubt became your doubt, whose limitations became your limitations, and this person, without knowing it, bound your financial vibration with their own survival frequency, and your mother's spirit steps forward more visible now, tears glowing like liquid diamonds flowing down her face as she reveals, "The shift you are approaching was denied to me. And that is why I am fighting for you," and your heart breaks open because you never knew her unfulfilled dreams were part of your spiritual inheritance. But before you can process this revelation, God lifts his hand and the chamber collapses into a cosmic courtroom filled with thousands of angelic judges holding scrolls containing the exact moments where your destiny was interfered with, and Jesus opens a scroll labeled, "The Financial Code," revealing a shocking truth written in golden fire. The blessing you are seeking was not meant to be chased, it was meant to be claimed, meaning your breakthrough was never about luck, opportunity, timing, or chance. It was about spiritual alignment, but the block did not want you to realize this because the moment you awaken fully, the entire network of interference collapses instantly, and this is why the shadow attacked you during moments of exhaustion, confusion, emotional weakness, loneliness, or heartbreak, because those were the moments. Your vibration was fragile enough to be manipulated, and suddenly Archangel Michael raises his sword and slices open the floor beneath you, revealing a massive river of golden energy flowing toward a locked vault glowing with spiritual fire, and your mother whispers, voice cracking with emotion, "This vault holds the seed of your destiny." But the key was hidden in your own pain, and instantly God commands the vault to open, but it does not budge. Instead, a terrifying ripple spreads across the river, revealing the second enemy, the one even heaven did not show you in part 1, a being formed not from jealousy, but from your own suppressed experiences, your guilt, your unspoken regrets, your emotional scars, your self-blame, your old wounds that never healed, your unresolved grief, your abandoned dreams, your stored anger, your broken trust, your forgotten confidence, your inner child's voice that was silenced long ago, and this being rises from the river screaming every fear you have ever whispered to yourself. You're not ready, you're not deserving, you're too late, you always fail, you will lose everything, you're going to repeat the same cycle, you're not lucky, you aren't meant for abundance, you shouldn't try again, and Michael steps between you and the being, shouting with the fury of heaven, "The enemy you must confront now is the version of you built from wounds, not truth," and your mother places her hand on your back, sending warmth through your spine as she whispers, "My child, this is the final block," and God steps forward, raising his hand to silence the battlefield as the being trembles violently, unable to withstand the light forming around you, and Jesus speaks with a voice that melts dimensions. The shadow before you is not your enemy, it is your prison, and instantly a divine explosion erupts from inside your chest, blasting through the being, shattering every lie, every limitation, every doubt, every fear, every toxic memory, every emotional chain, and the being disintegrates into pure light that merges back into your spirit, returning your confidence, your clarity, your courage, your intuition, your identity, and your divine authority, and the vault finally cracks open, releasing a beam of golden energy so powerful it shakes every timeline connected to your future, and God declares, the financial shift can now descend, and your mother smiles through her tears as the battlefield dissolves into pure light swirling around you like a crown formed from heaven itself, and as this part reaches its end, one last echo engraves itself into your soul. Subscribe, beloved child, so you never miss the messages aligned with your ascension. My beloved child, the instant Part 3 ignited inside your soul, the divine realm did not simply open, it tore itself apart with the force of 1,000 suns collapsing at once, because what I am about to reveal is the layer of spiritual truth even the archangels feared to speak. And as your spirit enters this forbidden dimension, you feel the air turning into living electricity, your heartbeat syncing with cosmic drums. And Archangel Michael descends not as the messenger you know but as the commander of the final gate, his armor burning with inscriptions written before humanity existed, his wings stretching so wide they tear through dimensions like sheets of fragile glass. And he roars with a voice that makes the fabric of reality tremble. Beloved child, prepare your spirit, the true enemy is about to be unmasked. And instantly God pulls your consciousness into a colossal rotating sphere known only as the Hall of Ancestral Debris, a place where the memories of every generation before you float like ghosts trapped in shimmering crystal shards, and your mother in heaven appears beside you, her presence shining brighter and heavier than ever, her voice cracking with divine urgency as she whispers, the adversary who blocked your destiny for years is not who you think, and suddenly the sphere stops spinning, freezing time itself, and hundreds of thousands of glowing fragments begin rearranging violently, forming a giant spiritual screen showing flashes of your childhood. Flashes of your heartbreaks, flashes of your financial collapses, flashes of your disappointments, flashes of moments where everything was about to change but suddenly crumbled, and you feel an icy wave run through your soul because the pattern is unmistakable. Every critical breakthrough in your life was intercepted at the same energetic point, the exact microsecond before manifestation. The exact instant your vibration rose high enough to receive abundance, and Archangel Michael slams his blazing sword into the center of the sphere, causing it to crack open like an egg, spilling out galaxies of memories, and he shouts, "The enemy who blocked you was not outside you. It was inside your spiritual bloodline," and your mother covers her face as tears of celestial fire fall, whispering, "I tried so hard to protect you from this truth, but the time has come," and God walks forward with a scroll glowing like molten gold held inside a tornado of light, and he opens it, revealing the most devastating revelation your soul has ever seen, a vow made 73 years before you were born, a vow spoken by an ancestor in a moment of unbearable trauma. If someone must lose everything so the family survives, let it be me, and let their descendants carry our burden. And that vow sent a shockwave into your bloodline, creating a spiritual contract of financial struggle, emotional sacrifice, and vibrational limitation that every descendant, including you, absorbed unknowingly. But the horror does not end there, because as God flips the scroll you see the second layer. A betrayal in your lineage that created a spiritual debt tied to your destiny, and this debt attached itself to your life because you were the most energetically open, spiritually gifted, emotionally deep soul of your generation, making you the easiest vessel for the curse to cling to, and Archangel Michael's wings blaze with fury as he growls, "The greatest wound of your bloodline chose you ASITS prison." And the sphere explodes, revealing a dark corridor where a monstrous silhouette stands chained to the walls of your ancestral memory, a being formed from centuries of financial fear, scarcity, sacrifice, and generational grief, and your mother trembles as she whispers, "This darkness survived because you survived," meaning the curse stayed alive by feeding on your compassion, your loyalty, your innocence, your sensitivity, your responsibility, your spiritual openness, and every time you tried to rise financially, the curse tightened around your vibration like a noose woven from inherited pain. But then Jesus steps forward, his eyes glowing like molten stars, and he says, "The shadow that blocked your blessings is not a demon, it is a wounded version of your own bloodline." And suddenly the monstrous silhouette steps into the light, revealing a horrifying truth. The curse took the form of a distorted ancestor who made the vow, an energetic imprint screaming, "If you rise, I disappear," and the entire realm erupts into chaos as the ancestor's shadow tries to claw its way back into your energy field. But Archangel Michael swings his sword, sending shockwaves of white fire ripping through the darkness, and your mother rushes forward screaming, "My child, this is the final moment. You must choose yourself or you will carry our burden forever." And time slows as God lifts his hand, silencing every dimension, every memory, every scream, every vibration, and he looks at you with the weight of eternity and asks, "My child, do you release your bloodline and claim the destiny I wrote for you? Or do you continue the suffering written by another?" And the entire universe holds its breath as the ancestral shadow lunges toward you, trying to merge back into your body, screaming in desperation, "You were born to carry us. You cannot break the vow." But Michael blocks it with his wings, exploding with lightning so powerful it splits the cosmic floor beneath you, and he roars, "Their suffering is not your purpose," and suddenly your mother kneels before you, hands shaking, voice breaking, "My child, set us free," and light erupts from your chest, blinding, holy, violent, unstoppable, ripping through timelines, breaking every oath, dissolving every inherited curse, collapsing every ancestral wound, and with a scream that shakes eternity itself, the shadow burns into ash and your soul becomes a blazing sun in the middle of heaven's realm, vibrating with a frequency your bloodline has never touched before. And God seals your transformation by pressing his hand onto your forehead, whispering, "You are the first in your lineage to be truly free." And as the divine chamber collapses into a vortex of pure golden fire wrapping itself around your body, one final echo is carved into your spirit forever: "Subscribe, beloved child, so you never miss the messages aligned with your awakening." My beloved child, the moment Part 4 burst alive inside your spirit, the entire divine universe convulsed like a living creature gasping for air, because what is about to be revealed in this section is the truth that even heaven kept locked behind 7 celestial seals, and as your consciousness rockets upward into the highest spiritual dimension, you feel reality bending, your heartbeat syncing with the thundering pulse of the divine realms, and then, without warning, Archangel Michael tears through the veil in full cosmic warrior form, his wings so massive they blot out galaxies, his sword vibrating with the energy of dying stars, his armor glowing with symbols only God himself can read, and he roars a single sentence that shatters the entire dimension around you. the enemy who haunted your destiny has evolved, and instantly the ground below you splits into a spiraling chasm of timelines, showing every version of your life, your victories, your heartbreaks, your failures, the opportunities that almost arrived, the money that slipped away, the blessings that hovered right outside your reach, and your mother in heaven appears beside you, her light trembling like a candle caught in a cosmic storm as she whispers, "My child." This is the part one begged God to show you, and suddenly the chasm widens into a divine amphitheater made of memories, fears, voices, and shadows from every era of your bloodline, and the truth hits you like a celestial earthquake. The curse you thought you destroyed in part 3 was only the outer organism, the surface wound. Beneath it hides the root, the original entity that created the first fracture in your bloodline. The entity no one noticed because it was disguised not as darkness, but as loyalty, and God summons the cosmic blueprint again, but this time the blueprint twists violently, turning blood red, burning at the edges, revealing a horrifying pattern. At the center of your bloodline pain sits one ancestor, not the one who made the vow. No, this one lived in silence, in the shadows, never honored, never remembered, but they carried a heart full of rage, jealousy, bitterness, and betrayal so deep that their energy transformed into a living spiritual parasite that attached itself to generations. And Archangel Michael roars with blazing anger. The true blocker was not the one who sacrificed. It was the one who resented, and suddenly a swirling vortex appears in the sky, ripping open the oldest layer of your lineage, and out of it steps a towering entity shaped like a distorted human silhouette, its body made of broken memories, shattered trust, stolen opportunities, and inherited fear. And your mother in heaven gasps as she whispers, This is the ancestor who cursed us all. And for the first time you see the truth, this ancestor was the one who envied the family that rose while they stayed behind, the one who spoke words of poison into the bloodline, the one who wished downfall on others, the one whose emotional darkness infected the generations that followed. And that entity screams with a voice made of centuries-old rage, "If you become great, I will cease to exist." And suddenly the entire cosmic amphitheater erupts into chaos, timelines shaking, memories exploding, golden pathways collapsing and rebuilding at once, and Jesus steps into the sphere holding a scroll made of pure white flame, the final financial code. And he speaks in a voice that strikes the core of your soul. The financial shift you are about to receive cannot descend until this ancestral block is ended forever, and instantly the entity lunges toward you, trying to merge with your aura, trying to sew itself back into your vibration, trying to hijack your destiny one final time, screaming every fear you've ever held. You will fail, you will lose everything. Abundance is not for you. You are not safe to rise, your bloodline belongs to me. And Archangel Michael spreads his wings, slamming them together in a clap of thunder that splits the sky itself, and he roars, "No more," and the battle erupts, not outside you, but inside your spiritual bloodstream, Michael striking through ancestral trauma, Jesus burning through inherited lies, your mother shielding the pieces of your spirit that were too gentle to fight back, and then God raises his hand and the universe freezes, everything suspended, the enemy, the angels, the memories, the timeline, the pain, and he places his hand on your chest. His voice echoing like the birth of creation, "My child, you were chosen to end what no one before you could," and with that he releases a beam of divine fire that blasts through your entire lineage, traveling backward through time, cleansing generations, dissolving ancient suffering, erasing karmic knots, burning ancestral oaths, shattering every spiritual parasite, and the entity of resentment shrieks as it collapses into dust. Its existence erased from every timeline, every dimension, every memory, and your mother kneels at your feet, her voice breaking with relief as she whispers, "It is over. It is finally over," and your entire spirit erupts into a blinding sun as the curse that stalked your family for centuries dissolves forever, and God seals your forehead with a symbol too ancient to describe, whispering, "Rise, my child, your bloodline is free." And as the cosmic chamber collapses into golden light engulfing your entire being, one final divine whisper imprints itself into your soul. Subscribe, beloved child, so you never miss the revelations aligned with your rebirth. My beloved child, the instant Part 5 ignited through the corridors of your soul, every realm, physical, spiritual, ancestral, cosmic, collapsed inward like a dying star trying to reverse its own explosion, because what I, your Father in heaven, am about to reveal is the deepest, darkest, most forbidden truth ever tied to your destiny, and Archangel Michael does not arrive this time. He erupts into your dimensional field like a meteor forged in divine fire, his wings beating with such catastrophic force that universes ripple outward in shockwaves, his armor pulsing with symbols written by my own hand before time began, and he shouts with thunder that shakes your spiritual DNA, "Beloved child, you have killed the bloodline curse. Now prepare for the entity that outlived even that," and instantly the fabric of your reality tears open, pulling your consciousness into the chamber of eternal consequence. A terrifying vault suspended in an infinite void where only one being is allowed to stand. The one whose destiny is about to be rewritten, and today, that being is you, and your mother in heaven appears beside you, her glow brighter and heavier than any moment before, but her eyes are trembling with a sadness so ancient it predates your lineage, and she cries, "My child, there is one secret I never told you while I lived, because if you knew, it would have broken you." And the chamber lights up with billions of glowing fragments. These are not memories, not timelines, not ancestral remnants. They are unfulfilled destinies, the pieces of abundance, opportunity, love, purpose, success, prosperity and miracles that were meant for every generation of your bloodline but never reached their rightful owners, and you realize with horror that your family did not suffer because they lacked faith or effort, they suffered because something stole their destiny before they could touch it. And Archangel Michael slams his sword into the chamber floor, causing a colossal crack to rip open, revealing a monstrous cosmic root twisting through every timeline, every century, every life in your bloodline, the original spiritual parasite, the first wound, the first theft, the first distortion, and suddenly a horrifying revelation hits your consciousness. This creature is older than your family, older than your bloodline, older than your ancestors. It is older than memory itself. And your mother clutches your arm as she says through a breaking voice, "This is the entity that entered our bloodline through a sacrifice you never heard about," and God appears before you, his presence expanding until the chamber bows and folds under his weight, and he reveals the truth humanity was never meant to know. Your destiny was being attacked before you were even born, not because of who you are, but because of who you were in another life. And your spirit convulses with shock as he lifts his hand and a swirling holographic vortex appears, showing a lifetime you lived centuries ago, a lifetime where you rose to unimaginable spiritual rank and became the keeper of divine abundance codes, and the cosmic parasite that now haunts your lineage was once an entity you defeated in that lifetime, but as it died, it swore an oath, "If I cannot destroy you in this life, I will destroy those who come after you," and that oath echoed through time until it found the moment your ancestor made their vow, merging with that trauma, coiling around your bloodline like a serpent waiting for you to be reborn so it could finish the war it lost. And Archangel Michael roars, "This enemy was never about your family, it was always about you." And suddenly the parasite rises from the crack, revealing its true monstrous form, not made of darkness, not made of shadow, but made of rejected destiny, stolen abundance, abandoned dreams, broken potential and corrupted timelines. A creature formed entirely out of everything your bloodline was meant to become but never did, and it opens its mouth and shrieks in a voice that rattles the pillars of reality. "The moment you rise, my existence ends," and with that, it summons every failed opportunity, every collapsed blessing, every financial loss your family ever suffered, and transforms them into spears of spiritual energy that launch toward you. But Jesus extends his hand and blocks them with a shield forged from your mother's prayers, and he says, "This war ends today." And God lifts his staff and commands the chamber to reveal your true destiny form, and from your chest erupts a blinding explosion of divine identity, your soul transforming into a being made of galaxies, fire, authority and truth, the form you once carried in your ancient life, the form feared by entities across realms, the form that carries the original abundance code, the form that broke the parasite once before. And the entity tries to flee, but Michael traps it inside a vortex of white lightning, roaring, "Face the one you feared for centuries," and the chamber collapses into a cosmic battlefield where you, your true form, step forward, glowing with the fire of your past life, and the entity screams, "If you claim your destiny, I am erased from creation." And God leans toward you and asks, "My child, do you claim it?" And the moment you whisper, "Yes," the entire universe detonates in white fire. Your mother sobs with joy. Michael strikes the parasite with a blow that splits time itself. Jesus pierces it with divine truth, and God burns its oath out of existence with a decree that echoes through eternity. "This bloodline is mine," and the parasite collapses into dust as billions of unfulfilled destinies, your ancestors' abundance, blessings, strength, wisdom, prosperity, opportunities, rush toward you like a tidal wave of golden fire merging with your spirit, rewriting your financial vibration, your cosmic identity, your destiny frequency, your energy blueprint, your divine rank. And as the battlefield dissolves into a rising golden dawn, one final whisper engraves itself permanently into your reborn soul: "Subscribe, beloved child, so you never miss the messages aligned with your ascension." My beloved child, the very moment Part 6 awakened, every realm, heaven, earth, ancestral, cosmic, subconscious, collapse together into a single blinding vortex, because what is about to unfold right now is not merely a message, not a warning, not even a revelation. It is the final reset of your spiritual identity across lifetimes, timelines, and dimensions. And Archangel Michael does not enter. He bleeds through the veil like a comet forged from divine wrath, his wings roaring with the storms of dying galaxies, his armor cracking open reality itself, his sword dragging a trail of light so hot it melts timelines, and he shouts with a voice that shakes the skeleton of the universe, "Beloved child, we have reached the root beyond the root, the real face of the enemy." And instantly God drags your consciousness upward through layers of divine architecture until you reach a terrifying chamber known as the Hall of Forgotten Origins. A place sealed since the first breath of creation, a place even angels are forbidden to enter, but today heaven forces it open for you, because your destiny cannot unfold without seeing what sleeps here, and your mother in heaven appears beside you, her spirit trembling, her glow pulsing like a heart beating inside the universe, her voice breaking with a truth she has held back for lifetimes as she whispers, "My child, what you fought in Part 5 was powerful, but it was only the hunter, not the master." And suddenly the chamber shakes as thousands, no, millions, of glowing memory fragments scatter across the space, showing flashes of every lifetime connected to your soul, lives you lived in ancient civilizations, lives where you were a healer, a warrior, a teacher, a guide, a protector, a chosen vessel, lives where you rose to divine rank, lives where entities bowed when you walked, and lives where darkness marked you as a threat that must be stopped across centuries. And Jesus raises his hand to slow the chaos, revealing a single glowing thread running through all your reincarnations, a thread marked with the symbol of divine authority, and he says, "This thread is why the darkness pursued you." And suddenly Michael steps forward, stabbing his sword into the core of the chamber, causing the walls to peel away like decaying flesh, exposing a massive black sphere pulsing like a diseased heart, and your mother gasps, screaming, and no, not this, not the origin, but God steps forward, his presence twisting dimensions, and he declares the truth every realm has feared for eons, the entity that corrupted your bloodline, manipulated your ancestors, fed on your destiny, haunted your blessings, blocked your financial vibration, sabotaged your breakthroughs, and hunted your soul was not born in your family. It was born in you, in another lifetime, when you carried a divine rank that terrified the underrealms, and as the sphere cracks open, a nightmarish presence rises from it, shapeless, formless, a living shadow sculpted from past life, betrayal, divine rebellion, cosmic jealousy, and ancient war, the original demon that waged battle against you across multiple incarnations, the one that attempted to steal your divine codes before time even existed, and it screams with a voice older than galaxies, "If you rise to your true form, my entire species dies." And the chamber erupts as universes collapse and rebuild inside its walls, timeline screaming, memories convulsing, destiny threads snapping and reattaching like veins of light, and Michael unleashes a roar powerful enough to shatter constellations as he transforms into his prime battle form, wings turning into blades of pure holy plasma, his sword evolving into the spear of final judgment, and he charges toward the entity but is thrown back as the creature unleashes a shockwave made from your old fears, your childhood wounds, your heartbreaks, your losses, every moment you doubted yourself, every time you felt unworthy, every betrayal you suffered, every time you were left alone, every dream you buried, every blessing you were denied. And you realize with a jolt of terror that the entity was not feeding on your weakness, it was feeding on your story, and Jesus wraps his arms around you as the chamber explodes again, whispering, "You cannot fight this as a human, you must remember who you were." And instantly God places his hand on your chest and your soul rips open, revealing your true form, your divine identity from lifetimes ago, a being made of golden fire, celestial authority, and pure creation energy, a being whose name was erased from dark realms to prevent the prophecy of your return, and the moment your divine form activates, the entire chamber lights up like a newborn star, and your mother collapses in awe whispering, "My child, you were never small, you were hidden," and the entity shrieks as your presence burns its existence, screaming, "If you fully awaken, you will destroy everything I built for ages." And Michael rises again, fighting beside your divine form, shouting, "Who you were is who you are, unleash it," and God lifts his staff, commanding the war to begin. And with one breath your divine form unleashes an explosion of white gold energy so violent it rips the creature's essence apart, shredding every curse. Every block, every ancestral wound, every financial distortion, every destiny chain, every spiritual parasite, every loss, every interference, not just for you, but for your entire bloodline across all timelines, and the creature collapses into dust screaming its final words, "Your rise is my extinction," and God seals your forehead with the mark of returned identity, declaring, "Your true power has been restored." And as the chamber collapses into pure divine light and the universe rebuilds itself around your awakened soul, one final eternal whisper is written into the core of your being: subscribe, beloved child, so you never miss the messages aligned with your cosmic destiny. My beloved child, the instant Part 7 detonated inside your awakened spiritual identity, every dimension, heaven, hell, earth, ancestral realms, future timelines, past lives, cosmic layers, collapsed into a single blinding point of divine pressure so powerful that even archangels retreated in shock, because what is about to unfold now is the revelation that not even the chosen ones before you were allowed to see. And Archangel Michael does not arrive this time. He erupts through the fabric of reality like a living supernova, his wings disintegrating meteors, his voice splitting galaxies, his armor pulsing with unstable divine energy that can only be activated when a soul reaches the point of irreversible awakening, and he roars with a cosmic fury never released before. Beloved child, the universe is about to show you the truth of why you were chased across lifetimes. And instantly God pulls your consciousness upward into a realm beyond existence known as the Primal Archive, a dimension so ancient it existed before time, before angels, before souls, before light itself, and your mother in heaven appears as a towering radiant being, not fragile, not trembling, but in her original divine form, the form she carried before she descended into human life, and she speaks a sentence that shatters every belief you ever held: my child, you and I were not meant to be born on earth. We volunteered, and instantly the primal archive around you opens like a blooming star flower, revealing scrolls made of living galaxies, each containing a cosmic assignment, a divine role, a mission written for beings older than memory. And Jesus steps forward holding a scroll glowing brighter than Michael's sword, brighter than creation, brighter than the boundary between realms. And he reveals the truth that no entity wanted you to remember: you were one of the original guardians of abundance, the ones who once controlled the spiritual economy of the universe, and every star in the archive flares violently because this revelation breaks the final seal suppressing your identity, and suddenly the darkness you defeated in Part 6 begins to shake, because it was never the true final enemy. It was only the hunter, the one sent to weaken you. But now, from the deepest pit of the archive, emerges an ancient cosmic atrocity, an entity so powerful and corrupt that its presence turns stars black, an entity shaped like a void containing the screams of dead timelines, twisted like a parasite that feeds on destinies, and God whispers with a gravity that bends the archive itself: this is the one that commanded the parasite, the first thief of abundance, the original destiny predator. And your mother steps closer, tears of white fire falling as she confesses, this monster attacked our realms before we were human. And it followed you through incarnation after incarnation, and the creature rises fully, its body made of collapsed realities, its eyes swirling with stolen futures, its voice echoing with the agony of civilizations it devoured, and it hisses, I tried to destroy you before you could awaken, because if you wake, my reign ends, and suddenly Michael shifts into a form no human has ever witnessed, his final form. The Archangel Prime, his sword transforming into the spear of dimensional severance. Capable of cutting through existence itself, and he charges the entity but is thrown back by a shockwave of pure oblivion, and Jesus lifts his hand creating a cosmic barrier around you, whispering, "The reason it cannot be killed by us is because it was created for you to destroy," and instantly God reaches into your chest and pulls out a blinding core of energy, your original soul signature, the identity you carried before the universe was born, and it expands into a colossal divine being of fire, stars, creation, destruction, infinity, and truth, your primal form, the form feared by dark species across realms. The form that destroyed the first Shadow War, the form whose existence was erased from memory to protect the universe from collapsing under your awakening, and your mother bows before your form, whispering, "My child." This is why darkness never stopped chasing you, and the cosmic predator shrieks as your divine form steps forward, your energy burning holes through dimensions, your presence ripping through timelines, your vibration shaking the structural lattice of reality, and the creature tries to flee but God seals the archive, booming, "No escape," the prophecy fulfills now. And with one motion you unleash a shockwave of divine authority so violent that the predator's body begins unraveling into streams of corrupted timelines, screaming, "If you live in your true form, I and my kind will be erased from all realms," and you roar with the voice of 10,000 suns, "Then be erased," and your energy burns through it, collapsing its entire species across dimensions, removing its influence from earth, heaven, and every ancestral line connected to you, and as the primal archive explodes into a rising dawn of golden rebirth, the entire universe bows before your reawakened identity, your true cosmic authority, and God places his palm over your heart, whispering the final decree that completes your awakening across all timelines. Your destiny is no longer limited by any realm. And as the universe rebuilds itself around your restored soul, one divine whisper engraves itself permanently into your spirit. Subscribe, beloved child, so you never miss the messages aligned with your infinite ascension. My beloved child, the very instant Part 8 detonated through the deepest chambers of your awakened cosmic identity, all existence, not just heaven, not just earth, not just your lineage, but the entire multiverse, froze in place as if every star, every dimension, every soul, every realm was forced to hold its breath, because what I am about to reveal is the secret that even archangels are forbidden to speak. And Archangel Michael does not arrive this time, he materializes out of pure divine data. His form no longer wings and armor, but a living algorithm of creation so advanced that his body is made of spinning universes, his veins are rivers of time, his sword forged from the skeleton of the Big Bang itself, and he roars with a sound that fractures cosmic silence. Beloved child, you have awakened 3 layers of your identity. But the final layer has never been discovered by any soul before you, and instantly God pulls your consciousness upward, not through heaven, not through time, but through the root matrix, the original engine of creation, the chamber where the blueprint of existence was written before existence existed, and your mother in heaven appears as a being so luminous that even stars dim next to her, her eyes no longer human, no longer angelic, but carrying the reflection of infinite timelines, and she whispers the most devastating truth of all, my child. We were not just watchers of creation. We were writers, and instantly the root matrix opens like a colossal cosmic flower revealing a swirling core of vibrating symbols, symbols older than light, older than atoms, older than consciousness, and Jesus steps forward holding a scroll made of living multiverses, and with a voice that shakes quantum fields he says, "This is the scroll of the original creators, the beings who built the rules of reality." And suddenly Archangel Michael kneels before you, yes, the Archangel Michael kneels. Because as the symbols rotate faster and faster, your true identity begins to form in the center of the chamber, not human, not angel, not reincarnated soul, not guardian, not chosen vessel, but one of the original architects of creation, a being so ancient and powerful that even God looks upon you with pride because you, in your original form, helped design the spiritual laws that govern abundance, destiny, karma, timelines, reincarnation, soul contracts, blessings, energy exchange, and divine finance, and suddenly the entire root matrix shakes violently as an entity, the final enemy, tries to force its way into the chamber, an entity not born from shadow, not born from trauma, not born from ancestors, not born from parasites, not born from cosmic predators, but an entity born from the moment you first disappeared from your throne eons ago. A glitch in the fabric of reality created when you incarnated as a human and temporarily forgot your true nature, and this glitch evolved into a living anti-creation organism, a being designed to corrupt everything you ever built, a being who has stalked your soul across lifetimes not to defeat you, but to replace you as an architect, and it screams with a voice like collapsing universes, "As long as you are asleep, I rule your creations." And the root matrix trembles as the entire multiverse flickers like a dying candle because your awakening threatens to overwrite millions of artificial timelines the enemy built while you slept, and your mother grabs your hands, her voice shaking, "My child, this is why your life felt wrong. You were living inside a timeline the enemy created, and God confirms it with melancholy thunder. The moment you awaken, everything you built returns to you, and the enemy lunges forward, its body made of broken realities, corrupted prayers, reversed blessings, stolen destinies, failed manifestations, collapsed timelines, and aborted miracles, screaming, 'If you remember who you are, I cease to exist forever.' And suddenly the root matrix explodes with blinding light as your original creator form emerges towering over galaxies, your body made of nebulae, your eyes containing constellations, your aura bending gravity, your voice rewriting physics, and Archangel Michael stands behind you with his final command, "Remember the truth. You did not come from creation, came from you," and before your cosmic throne whispering, "My child, your return was the prophecy all realms feared and prayed for, and God seals your chest with the mark of infinite authority, restoring your power across all realms, all timelines, all incarnations, and all destinies." And as the root matrix dissolves into golden eternity, one final eternal whisper carves itself into your soul, "Subscribe, beloved child, so you never miss the messages aligned with your cosmic throne."